My name is Jay from the Waynesville Yoga Center, and I'm here with Rylee. We thought it'd be kind of fun to just jump on really quick and tell you a little bit about our teacher training program from the perspective of someone who's in the program. Like, I can tell you all about it myself, but I think it's kind of nice to hear Rylee's perspective. So if you're kind of thinking about doing teacher training, you kind of have some idea of what the program's like and what to expect. So Rylee, can you tell us just a little bit about your backgrounds, like how you got into yoga, and a little bit about your your OT background? I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of started yoga. I started it before 2015, but when I was in occupational therapy school, I kind of started then, kind of as a way to kind of provide some stress relief. I was taking some regular vinyasa classes and then some hot yoga classes on the side, and just really kind of helped balance all of that out. And then, as you said, I'm an occupational therapist. I work in healthcare at a nursing home here locally, and being able to use the yoga that we've learned so far with our patients has been really helpful. And then also being able to practice it on myself is also equally as nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, what drew you? What made you decide to go into a teacher training program?
In the back of my mind, I knew that I wanted to kind of teach yoga moving forward as kind of so I can kind of split my time between occupational therapy and doing that, because while I do enjoy my job as an occupational therapist, it can get to be really stressful, and having this as another thing that I can share with others is just, I think it's a really great way to help keep myself regulated, but to also kind of help guide others as well. And when I saw that y'all were having a teacher training, I jumped on it immediately. I was like, okay, yeah, this is my sign, this is it, I'm gonna go for it. So.
Yeah, I think that's an important point you make. As a caregiver, whether you're in the healthcare industry or whether you have someone at home that you're caring for, self-care is important. And I think sometimes we put that on the back burner. So good for you for that awareness that you have to take care of yourself so you can take care of other people.
Absolutely.
So what's your experience been like in the teacher training? Is it what you thought? Is it harder? Just go ahead and be honest about some of your feedback about the program.
It's more than I thought it was going to be. I mean, going into the history of it, my mind is like always blown by like some of the things. I'm like, wow, I had no idea about any of those things. And then going to the anatomical perspective, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know this, but I love being able to mesh it with my current profession, and also kind of, and I've even used it with some of my residents even this week, like using the knowledge that we have now, being able to apply it in real life situations. It's been really fun.
Yeah, and so you're a little over halfway through, because I think we just finished your 6th weekend, and now we're coming into our 7th weekend. And so, thinking ahead, you've probably got, 4 more weekends or 3 more weekends or something like that. So how do you see yourself applying this once you're finished with the program? Like, you mentioned using it with your patients and maybe on yourself, but any other ideas you have to kind of how you might apply this to your life or your work?
So I really plan on trying to get with the administrator at our facility and even the director of rehab and seeing if maybe we can do some chair yoga with some of our balance impaired residents. I want to use it for myself just for my personal benefit, but I also really want to teach. And then this past weekend we talked about prenatal and postpartum yoga, and that wasn't even on my radar. And now I'm like, I want to teach that too. I'm like, it's just opened up a new world for me in terms of, oh, I can teach this, I can teach that. I would love to do all of this, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the hard thing, is when you learn about so many different, areas where you could kind of weave yoga in, or so many different specialties. Then the hard part is like, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do that. And then kind of figuring out how you want to hone it in, and you're going to have different things you're attracted to, but,
right.
And we're not even all the way through.
I know, and I was looking at the calendar, I'm like, I'm going to blink and be done with this. I'm going to be really sad, but I'm excited because I do want to teach. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's funny because you went into it knowing you were going to teach, and not everybody does. Some people go into it thinking they're not going to teach, and then they do. Like Sarah Lewis ended up changing her mind, which was such a good thing, because I think Sarah not teaching would have been a crime. And some people go in teaching and decide they don't want to. So I mean, it's kind of fine either way. So you went in knowing you wanted to teach, and you have not changed your mind. You still want to teach.
I want to teach more now that it's just really, my love for yoga has grown like exponentially since starting the program.
Good, we like to hear that.
I love it. It's just been such a, I feel like my life has changed so much just by doing the program.
Yeah, it is a pretty life-altering thing. It's hard to kind of convey that to people, how life-changing it is. You come out of the program and you've just taken such a deep dive into yourself and into all these things, and you come out, I don't know how you could come out of it not really change. And I mean, you know, that's kind of the reason most people go into it, I think, is to kind of figure out, you know, what direction they want to go into in terms of, do they want to stay going into an internal deep dive in yoga? Do they want to share it with the world? I think, and there's no right or wrong answer. It just kind of depends on what you want to do.
Right, absolutely.
Thank you, Rylee.
Thank you.
For being with us. So thank you for joining us for this little short backstage peek into yoga teacher training. So hopefully you got something good out of this. Thanks again, Rylee, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys next time.